It is time for your all's favorite game show, the Toasty Bros Budget Wheelspin Challenge. But today, we're going to be doing graphics cards.
And we're going to be focusing on the two big dogs, AMD and Nvidia, and we're going to be building $500 gaming PCs, so that means these graphics cards definitely won't be in those builds, but we're going to spin the wheel to see what kind of caveats we have to deal with to do an AMD versus Nvidia challenge for a budget build showdown after a word from today's sponsor. Shout out to Highstar for sponsoring today's build challenge. Later in the video, we're going to be benchmarking our gaming PCs using their awesome gaming mouse pads, and we'll talk more about their cool designs, really awesome build quality, and lifetime warranty.
So most of you guys know how this works, but if you don't, we have a bunch of wheels here that are going to randomize the odds of Matt and I possibly being able to win this challenge. We are going head to head. The first thing we're going to be choosing is AMD versus Nvidia. Who gets what GPU?
And we're going to be sticking to the same budgets this time. So we have two systems to compare, which one of them will be an AMD GPU system and one will be an Nvidia GPU system. So who is going to spin first? Jonah, you always pick.
I think this time is Matt.
It's my turn? All right, we go back and forth. So I'm going to hit that shuffle button, see if I have to go AMD or Nvidia. We're talking $500 for a build. I feel like AMD might be the better option for that, but we'll see.
I want Nvidia.
GTX cards.
I got AMD. All right, there you go. So I got AMD, and automatically Jackson has Nvidia. But one thing that's a little bit different compared to last time, we did this about a year ago when we went Nvidia and AMD. AMD had to use an AMD CPU and Nvidia had to use an Intel CPU, but we figured, well, we don't have to keep it that way. We can just spin for it, so we have to lock in our CPU as well. Let's see what I end up getting, an Intel CPU or an AMD CPU. I gotta go true all AMD for this build. This is gonna be fun. $500 true all AMD. Now what game do I have to play? We have a wide variety of games here. A lot of games. We got Lego Batman, we got the finals, we got Marvel Rivals, we got Pal World, we got Valorant. I think we got Baldur's Gate 3 in there. Fortnite. We got so many games. We're gonna shuffle and see what game I have to play, and then we'll figure out our FPS target. I'm a little scared here. $500, is it gonna be something we can handle? I think I can handle either one of these, but I could definitely handle Valorant.
You gotta be able to have the anti-cheat though.
Yeah, the anti-cheat, that's gonna be the biggest thing. That was the reason we added that. It's not even really the FPS goal, is I have to have a PC that can do Windows 11 natively to get the anti-cheat support.
Oh yeah, what settings are we going for? 1080p medium?
Yeah, we'll do medium, 1080p medium. You know what, yeah.
Matt has to do epic, ultra.
You know what, because Valorant, we'll make it a little difficult. Since Valorant is such an easy to run game, we'll do higher details on it. 85 FPS is what I have to get. 1080p high settings, just to clarify. I can either have to play both games, which is the challenge you like to add because whatever Jackson gets, I have to do as well. Plus or minus $50. The elimination of no office PC, which I'm not gonna be able to go with anyways, honestly, with the specs I have to do. Or some upscaling. So let's see what we end up with.
Oh, he always gets the upscaling every time.
You know, I say this every time, and I always have a problem with something that shows up.
Does Valorant even have?
I don't even know if they have any upscaling.
Do you know, Jonah?
Did they use FSR or
DLSS?
DLSS?
I don't think they do.
Okay, well then I guess I get nothing. It's a net neutral. It just evens out that way then.
That's funny.
So I have an AMD GPU, I have an AMD CPU, I have to play Valorant at 85 FPS, 1080p high settings, because it's a pretty easy to run game, and we're going to, well, make that net neutral, because there's really no upscaling that I can use in Valorant. So we already know that Jackson's going to have an Nvidia GPU, but he gets to spin to decide what CPU he has to use. I still think I'll be able to hit it though, but we'll see.
I don't think he'll have a problem, unless he builds a really bad system.
AMD CPU,
wow.
Okay.
I didn't see that coming, okay. So AMD CPU, but Nvidia GPU. A lot of people think that's a sin.
Now what game is he gonna have to play? We're not gonna play the same games twice, by the way, so if he gets the one game, we're gonna have to
Gooner Rivals!
Gooner Rivals, almost Baldur's Gate. Now for the normal games, I mean this one is the normal category, we're gonna do like 1080p medium.
Yeah, this one's a little newer. Ooh, 70 FPS? A little
Okay.
less than what you gotta run.
Okay, 70.
What will my good thing or bad thing be?
Plus or minus money.
There's a couple good things on here.
RGB required.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
That's a fun one. So you need some sort of RGB. It could be the RAM, it could be a strip. It just needs to be lighting of some kind.
All right, so you guys know I have an Nvidia GPU. I have an AMD CPU, Marvel Rivals at 70 FPS, 1080p medium settings, and I gotta have some type of RGB in the system.
All right, let's get to shopping and see what we can get. All right, guys, I'm gonna be real with you. This one seems pretty easy for me, but if you guys have watched this series on the channel, you've seen how I've been hosed many times on eBay, especially when buying an AMD GPU.
I guess first let's pick out our system. I do have to go AMD. That really puts a hamper in my plans.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out our CPU, motherboard, and RAM first. That's always the best way to go. See if we happen to find a good deal. Occasionally you do, sometimes you don't. These prices are already not amazing, I'm gonna be real with you.
At the end of the day, I think a pre-built's just gonna automatically be my best route. I know it's not the prettiest, I know it's not the coolest.
What I'm trying to avoid is doing the basic combo that everyone does when you're building an AMD system. And that's a 3600 with like a 5700 XT. It's been done so many times.
If I can just find a system that has like an AMD processor to start, so I could fit something like a, like a 1660 in there, for example.
Why is this so cheap? I couldn't afford a GPU, but this is like incredibly cheap, by the way. This is like insanely cheap. I don't think I can do anything with that, but I want that included in the video. That's like really cheap.
Ooh, let's try Ryzen. Okay, you know what? This is getting closer. 5600G, 16 gigabytes of RAM, but 1 terabyte SSD for $369. I'm gonna keep that one open, booked up right over here.
I always forget to look for comparisons. What you can buy from like Newegg is like a trade CPU. Yeah, look at that. 129. That might actually be a good buy. This is a trade CPU without the cooler, saves you a good amount of money.
It's so funny. Sometimes when you're not looking for these types of PCs, we'll find the best deals ever, but then when I actually have to look for them, it's like they're just non-existent. 3600X
for $84. Read description for parts not working. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Let's do a bunch of new stuff. Obviously, I want to get good bang for buck, but I might just be able to get away with just getting a decent priced GPU used. But let's see.
This PC has every spec in it that I already want. It'd be nice if I just realized it says Ryzen 7 5600G. Ooh, it's a 5700G. They mistyped it. I mean, 8-core 16 thread. The only downside with the 5700G is it does not have Gen 4 support, but we're not going to be able to get a Gen 4 GPU, I don't think, not for this price.
So let's do a B550M motherboard. I don't want to have to go Pro VDH. If I can do the Pro 4 board, I'm always going to default that because it's such a good board. So let's try that. That just shows you how good that 7700 combo is I just saw. I don't think I could squeeze that though because it'd be DDR5 memory. There's no way I could get that for $500, but that's like a freakishly good deal for whatever reason.
Are there people selling like 3060s for cheap enough? Let's add this to the cart real quick. Let's see. So this would be $370. There's no shipping, which is good. It's free. So I have about 130 to spend. I mean, these are a little more expensive than I thought. Most of these are TIs, but yeah, even a normal. Here's an 8. This is a 3060 8 gig for $225. My goodness. Parts only for $150. That is redonkulous.
I want to make sure I have dual channel. Let's just try this kit because this is from Wozno. Wozno is a pretty decent company, and they have like so many of these kits of Corsair memory for whatever reason, and it normally always works. It looks like a working drive. Let's add it to cart.
That's really close. Wow, man, I'm really hoping to be into the RTX territory because I'll have ray tracing, some like DLSS support and everything. Oh man, I hate that because like I really want this build. It's a really cool build, but let's see. Let's try AMD Ryzen. I find like a 3600 PC. Is that like a thing?
We only have 100. Okay, we gotta dial things back. We gotta go much more budget.
See, these are all like at my budget basically, and that doesn't even include the GPU. I'm trying to think. The other one, that PC was $370. Can I do better building myself? Let's just see 3600 combo. If I can find one that has RAM in it. This one's $259, but it only has 8 gigs. Whoa, a DDR5 build? Can I do something crazy here? I'm guessing this is 16 gigs of DDR5. Is that 64 gigs? GPU and RAM not included. That's why it's in people's carts, bro. I guarantee you, because that's just like misleading.
So this one's $300 for a 3800X and 16 gigs of RAM. That's not horrible. CPU comes with the original box and packaging. No longer have the original box for RAM motherboard. Has a built-in IO shield. Let's try to make this work. I'm at 351, which is actually more money than I had before. Okay, that's not gonna work. Let's go back. That's actually not a horrible deal right now, but I just can't do it for my budget.
See, it just sucks for me to build myself. Most of these combos, like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get near that PC price. I mean, sure, I can squeeze a 2060 in, but then I'm down to like a 2300X. I don't feel like the trade-off is worth it for building myself, but I'm going back to, I think, pre-built. I mean, it doesn't make sense for me to build myself. I just don't think I'm gonna get a better build.
I might go individual here too. I might not get a good combo. People they're overpricing their RAM. It's insane. Yeah, these combos are so bad. Well, let's look up for a Ryzen 5 2600. Those CPUs are pretty cheap and they're still good. Just gotta find the best price I can do on one.
Man, I gotta be honest. I think I'm stuck on this 5600G system, or 5700G, sorry. It's just, all the other PCs I'm finding are just so much worse for the price. So let me try RTX 2060 again to see if I can find something. Why are they more expensive since the last time I looked? What happened? What was I looking at before? Because I was like, oh, I have 130 bucks and I did 26, and I swear there was a bunch that were close to my budget. Yeah, what did I just look up? Why was everything like $200+? Oh, this one's best offer. I'm gonna shoot them an offer.
This one's in a little plastic holder. This makes me feel confident that the pins are not screwed. Yeah, pins look good. 35 bucks with shipping. It's $8. Let's just try that one for now. See if we can make that work. So what's a B450 board new? It's a little pricey, not gonna lie. This is what I get for like trying to be creative. It'll support the 2600, so I could just get a decent B550 board. The full-size board, that would be different. Comes with another board, IO shield and box. RAM A2 is damaged and does not work. Okay, 49 for a DS3H, parts only. Jesus Christ.
Matt and I normally never do this, but I'm gonna attempt it. It does have one active offer. Let me double, triple check. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like I have 130 and a penny, but okay, so if I did 125, $499.99. All right. This is just $5 under. Oh, wait, but I need RGB. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to offer less.
It's a pretty decent board, $79. Oh, it's free. No, I can't buy from them again. I refuse to pay more. Oh my God, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Dude, this is tough. So I might as well just buy new for the motherboard. Let's just go with the safe bet. This company's always done good. Add them to the cart. Yeah, I should probably go with the K. But it doesn't say it supports 2000 series. Supports 543. See, that's always a gamble if you go B550, because there's gonna be some boards that won't support it. And you have to do like an older BIOS flash. Let's just do this. Let's add that to cart. We'll do B550K. Let's go back to my cart and let's look up a 3rd gen CPU. I'm doing this. Here we go. How about something a little more powerful? Could I find a 3700X for a decent price? These aren't bad. $89. It's freaking pay more. I don't think I can. God, of course it's pay more.
Let's go ahead and just add the RGB strip to here. I don't know how I'm gonna get the RGB to shine through, but we're gonna find a way, by the way. And let's do SATA. I know the system should have some extra SATA on it, no problem. Oh, here's 850. Okay, we'll leave that one up. That puts us at 383.49, 116.51. That's a little lower than what this guy's asking. I feel like the offer will not be accepted because there's one competing offer right now. I'm gonna try to offer him the exact amount that I have left. Oh, it's offer sent. Oh, I'm gonna have to wait, dude. I'm gonna have to wait all that time.
I feel like I kind of want to buy from somebody who's not, because then this is be almost $100 for this CPU at this point. Let's try it. I refuse. I can't do pay more. Yeah, let's go Aqua Uno. Let's get the power supply, something pretty budget. We'll do the 80 plus white, so minus $40 more. I'm at 124 now. I need a cooler. The black one's 18. The RGB one's the same price. Look, I got $105 for a GPU. I don't think I can. There's no way there's a 5700 XT for $105. 5500 XT. God, Jackson may be right. There may not be as many AMD GPU options as I want to go with. Oh, dude, this is tough from AMD. AMD's used market is horrible.
I know I'm gonna get this PC. Pretty much though, if this 2060 doesn't go through, I'm gonna have 2 other choices here, the way I see it. Number one is I get a 1660 Ti. It's not terrible. The only other thing I could think of doing is maybe, just maybe, I can go to Facebook Marketplace. Maybe I can find a good deal there. I'm gonna have to wait until this offer comes back to us. I've done what I can. I did secure the PC. I secured our RGB strip. So RGB strip, PC secured, waiting on the graphics card now. It's a very risky game I'm playing. We're gonna make it happen one way or another, and I'll update you guys.
Here she is. Let's add this to the cart and see what happens. So 3700X. I really want to do a different CPU. That's the reason I'm forcing this. So if this CPU shows up bad, I'm going to lose my absolute mind. So remove that. 505.82. I got to shave off $5 somewhere. CPU cooler. I can't really go much cheaper because I want to keep this CPU. Case. I don't think I'm going to find a case that's not going to be absolute garbage for any less. CPU. I already made a deal with the devil. I can get some slower 16 gigs DDR4. 4 sticks at 2400 megahertz. 4 sticks is crazy. Would I do this? It saves me $10. The red RAM actually might be a vibe. I got $15 extra now. 5700 XT, 5700 XT. Pawn of America. This is a 5700 XT for $136.99. Wait a minute. Can I fit this in my budget? There's got to be a slightly cheaper something I could do. I'm $2 over. I could get a cheaper cooler, I think. A Dark Rock, $16.99. That's a normal size cooler. Add it. Okay. Delete. Are you kidding me? But I cannot sacrifice my morals. There's got to be 80 cents somewhere. Where are the 80 cents? This is the sweatiest I've gone with one of these. There it is right there. This is it. Free shipping, Kioxia Gen 3, add to cart. All right, I'm calling it. We're ordering everything right now. Check out. Let's see if it ends up all working, because I did end up having to buy from the devil themselves. We'll see.
All right, guys, it's been about an hour since I recorded that video, and I think I have an update for us. So as long as I hope I read the right email. Otherwise, this just isn't even going to be in the video. Yeah, awaiting shipment auto paid. So that means that we were able to get this item, and that includes the $5 shipping and tax, which I'm not counting tax, but they accepted my offer. Yep, there it is, $116.51. Someone else must have had a worse offer than me, or they had like worse ratings or something. All I know is that I want it. I'm going to find it hard to believe that Matt did better than me on this one, but we're gonna go ahead and wait on this GPU and our computer and our RGB strip to show up, and then we're gonna get to building.
Finally, all my PC parts are here. Let's just go ahead and show stuff off real quick to make sure everything showed up in one piece. My CPU shipped in some pretty poor packaging. Let me show you. Look at the shipping. Oh my God. This is how they shipped the CPU. Now, I will give them credit. I've already opened this up because I was a little scared. And also I have trauma from past CPUs showing up and not being what they actually are advertised as being. But this is a 3700X. But I think I have some bent pins to work with now. You might be able to see them on that edge right there. There are some bent pins, but they're very, very minor. So I'm gonna go over those with a little box cutter real quick, try to straighten those out. But Lord, this was Paymore, wasn't it? I think this was the freaking Paymore company again. Dude, I'm just gonna keep buying from them. I do this to myself. I really can't make blame. Actually, I can blame them all I want, but I should definitely blame myself for buying from them over and over again. So the motherboard, we played it safe. We went with the B550MK. At least on eBay, there's just not any amazing deals for B550M motherboards used, or B450 boards for that matter. This board ended up being a grand total of $69 on Amazon. Like, I may have found a board for like $59 or $49, but would have been really scared to have a dead board show up. So I went new, best bet honestly, and it's a fine motherboard. It's micro ATX, it'll get the job done. Now the RAM, I'm actually kind of excited about. Excited and scared. I have 16 gigs of memory, but I opted for 4 sticks. Which normally can result in a cool looking build, but could lead to just a higher probability of a RAM stick being bad. And also, I got this red RAM. Looks pretty cool. Got some red Corsair Vengeance memory, 4 gig DIMMs, 4 of them. This was $49 for 16 gigs, which is actually a decent amount cheaper. Now the only problem is it's quite slow. It's 2400 megahertz. I only have to play Valorant at 85 FPS. I don't think my RAM's gonna hold me back that much, especially with the rest of the hardware, but we got the 4 sticks. It doesn't really benefit us other than the price was good and it might be more aesthetically pleasing. I had to make sure our motherboard had 4 RAM slots because I honestly did not even factor that in. I just bought 4 sticks without even thinking about it. Little tower cooler, the ASRock PX4. I think we only paid $16.99 for this. It's gonna be plenty for my 3700X. Gen 3 NVMe SSD, we paid 49 bucks for. I really don't like when they wrap stuff like this because I always tend to break them somehow by trying to cut them open. You gotta be very careful. There's a little NVMe drive. Now, this was the GPU I got excited about because I didn't think I was gonna be able to afford it in our budget. This is a 5700 XT I got on eBay for $136, which is actually, you know, maybe about a year or two ago would be a normal price, but nowadays, that's a pretty good price. This card has gone up to like $160 because of course the used market is just cooked. But for 130 bucks on eBay, this Challenger card, and it came from Pawn America. Here it is. She looks pretty clean. The biggest thing with 5000 series cards is they are notoriously unreliable GPUs. When they work, they're fabulous. But when they don't work, I have troubleshooting problems. So I'm just hoping this one's good. Power supply is pretty boring. Rosewill VNW 650. This is their really cheap 650 watt power supply. It's rated pretty well. Here it is, VNW 650. And of course, it's a budget build challenge. I gotta go Okinos. This is the Aqua Uno. We got the black version that we paid $44.99 for. They look pretty good. I will say I would have had a really, really clean color scheme if I didn't end up going with the 5700 XT I went with that has like yellow on it, because now I have a red and yellow build. But this at least has ARGB, which is nice because I'll be able to make this build look super clean. Yeah, this is just gonna be just fine. It's gonna be plenty for this build. So I need to get this thing put together and try to figure out if these bent pins are gonna become a problem. So let's cue the build montage and see if we have any problems along the way. But would you look at that? Matt can build a working PC. Yay! Build's good, we're in the BIOS. Got that pin that was bent. I actually bent it a little bit worse. I don't know if you can see it in that B-roll clip when I was trying to do it. I bent it a little bit worse and I had some fear on my face. But then I fixed it. And now we have our 16 gigs of memory showing up in the BIOS. We have our CPU and we can install Windows. And this build looks pretty good, actually, not too bad. So let's get Windows installed, and I'm excited to reveal my PC because I don't think I took a major gamble here, but there were some parts that obviously I gambled on a little bit to get this build at $500. And in 2026, I think this is some pretty good price to performance. So let's see what happens after the reveal.
Ladies and gents, it's been a little bit, but my PC is here along with my other parts. And I was like really wanting to buy this PC because it's a pre-built, but it's a very unique pre-built because it's from Micro Center. It's a PowerSpec Prebuilt. And I just like the mystery involved because I paid $369.99. I got free shipping. It actually came from a company, it looks like on eBay, ET Elmwood LLC. So I don't know if maybe it's like a pawn shop or something. They put a Ryzen 7 5600G in the title, but when they show Task Manager, it has a 5700G. So we got 8 cores and 16 threads. It's 5000 series. It is going to be Gen 3 only, but because of the GPU that I bought, it doesn't even matter. This is basically going to be like one step up from something like, you know, I'd buy like a HP or a Dell or, you know, just a pre-built. But instead we actually have like a custom built tower. Like I said, nothing fancy, but it's gonna be way nicer. I really wanted to find a different build that was cheaper so that I could get a nicer graphics card. Because I did kind of have to sacrifice on the GPU a little bit. I only need to play Marvel Rivals realistically though. The RTX 2060 that you guys saw me buy is gonna be plenty for that. I think I need to hit like medium settings at 70 FPS. That's not gonna be hard. I don't think at least. And on top of that, you guys know my caveat was I had to buy some RGB, so I got this little guy to put in here too. I guess you can kind of see through the side here, so I don't know, maybe I'll put it like right in the middle of this front panel so it kind of shines out the sides. That's the only way we're really gonna see it. This is a Lee & case, so that's pretty cool. Now the power supply is also PowerSpec. It's very plain Jane. Look at this. It's like they knew that you were gonna wanna upgrade this, John. The last time we did one of these challenges, we did the Master Chief one. I was pulling my hair out trying to find a pre-built that had the power supply needed because nobody discloses them. With something like a PowerSpec, I was like, there's no way they're gonna put a power supply in this. That's not a standard ATX power supply that has enough wattage to have the PCIe 8-pin. And it looks like we have 2 of them. We have dual channel RAM, and that RAM is G-Skill. It's all black. Actually, right there, just says G-Skill in tiny letters. I've never seen this really generic looking G-Skill RAM, but it's DDR4 at 2666, and it's 2 8-gig sticks, so 16 gigs. We have a stock AMD CPU cooler for 5700G, which I will say, a little bit underkill for 5700G, but it's not gonna really be doing much, honestly. And motherboard's probably a A520M, so it is bottom of the barrel, you know, A-series motherboard, but, you know, single 4-pin, only 2 RAM slots. We do actually get a WD-SN570, and I believe it, yeah, 1 terabyte. For $369, this is just a good deal right here. But the fact that we have our PC, this is a full-size PCIe lane right here that's gonna have full Gen 3x16 bandwidth. We have an MSI Wi-Fi / Bluetooth card in the back here. We have a little bit more USB ports than we would on like a standard office PC, and also just a cleaner looking build. We even have this front IO here that's not too bad looking. I just had to go with this one. I tried finding cheaper builds so I could get a nicer card. I was hoping I could get like a 3070 or something just to like blow Matt away, but I think this is gonna do a lot of the heavy lifting at $369 now. The 2060, but I ended up paying $116.51. Shipping was $5, so about $120. I remember I was like literally at the end of my budget with this 2060. I think I was almost able to squeeze a 2070 at certain points, but with needing the RGB and really wanting this specific build, I just could not afford to get my 2070. So we got this instead. I mean, it is a Dell Nvidia card. I like how they actually wrote everything on here. It's an RTX 2060, 6 gigs of VRAM. Should be a solid little card. Let's see what this Dell one looks like. I'm assuming it's either from an Alienware or an XPS system. And it's very nicely wrapped. I don't even know where to begin. Wow, that thing's clean, dude. I mean, it's got a little bit of dust, but for it being an OEM card, it's hard to say. This could have came out of like an XPS, could have been an Alienware. It is pretty plain Jane though, so I'm gonna guess this was like a workstation 2060, which is even better. That just goes to show that this card was definitely not mined on. I mean, look how clean our stainless steel bracket is. Normally these would be covered in like corrosion and little like heat spots. The back would usually be really foul looking. You can tell this hasn't been inserted in a system a ton of times because the pins are nice and clean. So this is gonna be really simple. I know Matt's trend with these challenges normally building a whole PC. I feel like I'm already winning, you know. I don't know if he's doing a whole PC build, but like I don't have to build anything. I just get to throw this in here and I'm good to go. Let's just throw in our graphics card real quick. Oh, is this new paste?
It looked, I told you it looks pretty
I think
good.
it's new paste. How could you tell? What do you mean you could?
I could just tell it was clean like that. There's no way that's stock cooler looks that good for that long.
So
That's
that's definitely new paste. There's no way the stock paste looked like that. We're gonna mix paste. That's like not even close to the same color, is it? You know what? It's a good chance to see how Micro Center did with one of these pre-builts with the cable management, I guess. There goes my bracket again. Oh. Okay, they don't give you a lot of room in this case, huh? Very basic case. Okay, well, let's get our cooler back on. It already has really good paste. Whoever bought this PC, whoever had it, looks like they just did a repaste recently. We're gonna hit some opposing corners. We got our cooler back on with a little extra thermal paste. We just really don't even have to do anything else. I'm gonna go ahead and unsnip this real quick because we're gonna need that for our graphics card. Oh. I didn't do what I think. Oh, buddy.
No.
It's Jover. Oh wait, does this maybe have ARGB? That's a really big ask on an A520. It's Jover, Jonah. I'm gonna have to cheat.
You lost.
I'm gonna have to look and see if I had any budget left, but if you don't know what's happening right now, I bought an RGB strip that is, oh, is this freaking ARGB too? Oh my God, this is, or sorry, 4-pin. Oh, this keeps getting worse.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess if it did, it would be that, but I don't see a single header on this board. This is, I mean, there's almost no headers on this board. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, oh yeah, because look, it even came with these, so it's definitely a 4-pin. Oh, there's one right here that's freaking Molex, dude. I don't know how much this is worth, but I'm gonna have to. So this is a Molex. It's nice, I mean, it's all in one. It's not gonna be the fanciest. You'll have to open the back of the PC to do anything, but you line up the arrow. But yeah, a little different than 5-volt ARGB. This is 12-volt RGB, which is an older standard that's not really used much anymore. Yeah, we'll have to figure that part out. I may have just technically lost my caveat. I bought the RGB, I just didn't get the strip. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or what. Back to graphics card situation. Let's go ahead and cut. These are really tight. Okay, I think all my cables are like, yeah, they're all like cable managed up top here. Well, let's just go and get the GPU in and then we'll worry about the Molex part. We'll need to kind of route this cable underneath part of the GPU. I'll show you guys how to do that. Yeah, it's a fun little hack you can do. It's a good thing this card's installed up here already. Oh, there's actually nowhere else to install. It's a good thing that works out. So you see this little notch here? I don't know if they do this for this specific reason. It could just be that's just how they're designed, but I've always looked at this as being like the slot you can run stuff under. All right, we're lined up and you see how we have that little, this guy's not pinched. We want to make sure it's not like pinched or anything. We got the click. Let's go ahead and put this little feller back on, our nice little cover to keep things clean. Make sure our GPU's straight here. So here we go. We got our 6+2 pin, which equals 8. Yay! Tell me that ain't just cleaner, my friend. Oh, and now it's gonna act as a sag bracket too, even though it doesn't sag. Yeah, Jonah loves when I pull these cables like super tight. That looks pretty good. So the front's looking nice now. We need to get our Molex cable out of here. I really was hoping I didn't have to like cut these and I could just kind of find a Molex, but I literally don't see one. All right, so we got our Molex cable. We found it. I'm thinking we just freaking run, we could just do like this. One here, one there. Get some nice side. Oh wait, you know what? If I do it here, it's gonna block the holes that need to close. So let's not do quite like that. I almost want to remove this too.
Take it out. Extra
airflow. Cheeky little fella I am. Oh, and these are detachable, so I can just basically just plug these in and then we'll run it through there. I think that'll work. Let's, we're probably gonna have to cut these to length too. Oh, do you know what else you could do? Imagine putting them on the underside to where it glows out the bottom.
Underglow on a PC?
That could be a thing. Feels pretty sticky. I don't think they're gonna go anywhere. Normally, yeah, see actually has a little cut symbol here. Now let's go ahead and do our other one. I do like how this is gonna, we'll see if it closes or not. We could have one LED that shines underneath, you know? Oh, it'll work. Just trust the process, Jonah. The build should turn on now, and we should be able to see our RGB in all its glory. Oh, baby. That is bright. I'm trying to get it off of the moving mode. Oh, that's like RGB, okay. Jonah says purple. We could get fancy and strap those down, but there's so much room in between this thing. I think we're like squeezing that, oh, dude, look at my hand. Underglow, baby. This is actually kind of litty. The Visionary has done it again. Oh, look, there's two. You just can almost not see this one because it's like being pinched by the case. Man, we're basically done. Let me just throw a couple of my free zip ties that I totally paid for on this build real quick. All right, guys, so we got cable management done, and I gotta say, Jonah suggested purple for this RGB strip, and the RGB strip itself just looks amazing. I'm actually like, that's such a good like $5 whatever it was purchase. Cable management looks really nice. We got the back looking good. 2060 with the 5700G. I just don't know how Matt's gonna beat this, and I'm gonna be shocked if I don't play Marvel Rivals at 100+ FPS in medium settings. So Matt and I both got our PCs built, and it is now time for the grand reveal. Shall we go together?
I think we should. 3, 2, 1. Whoa, God, that thing's bright. Holy crap. Okay, what's going on with yours? You gotta tell me about yours here.
Okay, so I feel like you'll appreciate this because it's a pre-built, but it's not a pre-built.
It's
right?
PowerSpec.
I know a while ago you and I did some videos of Micro Center. It's been a while, but we looked at their Office PCs. This is a 5700G Office PC. I've obviously added some RGB strips because that was part of my challenge. I can't believe how well those turned out.
They look good.
I bought this PC for like a little over, it was 300 and some change.
Okay.
5700G. We have dual channel, 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM. It's just 2666. I ended up doing a 2060.
Okay.
Now, my budget was a little strange because if I wanted to get a better graphics card, I couldn't afford this PC.
Yep.
Every other pre-built I was finding that involved like an Office PC, they just didn't feel very good.
Very good.
And I'm like, dude, 5700G, 1 terabyte SSD, by the way. That is a WD-SN 570. MSI, Wi-Fi card built in. We actually have a nice power supply. My only regret is I wish if I had just had an extra, I think it was $10 or $15, I could have gotten a 2070 in here because I already knew with Matt having AMD, I know what I'm up against. 2060, it's gonna be hard to say, but I'm running Marvel Rivals. That game has ray tracing, and also it's kind of an esports title where you want a powerful CPU. So I'm banking on that. I'm hoping that Marvel Rivals will appreciate a little bit of RTX and a little bit of 8 cores and 16 threads.
You know what? Sorry, we got a bunch of dog and some burger flam. We just had a cookout today, so shout out Tom, man in that grill. My build, as you can see, it's a custom build because I just hate myself and I want to make it difficult. But this time it actually works. I didn't have any problems. It's amazing. Well, my CPU had a slightly bent pin, but whatever. Ryzen 7 3700X.
Cool, okay, so you also get an 8 core 16 threads.
I tried to avoid the whole 3600 because like that's the one that I always go with, or anyone goes with when they go AMD, is a 3600U. So I spent a little more on that. That was like $89, something like that for that CPU. The RAM situation, I ended up paying $49 for 16 gigs of memory.
4 sticks.
But 4 sticks. It is slower. It's 2400 megahertz, so that might impact me a little bit there, but 4 sticks, and it's red. I was gonna go cheaper on the GPU, then last minute for $136, I found a 5700 XT.
That's so, and for those who don't know, that's basically like a 2070 Super. I have a 2060, so, and I think I paid about that for my 2060, so it's just crazy. AMD cards before ray tracing was a thing, they just don't have the value like RTX cards do.
And in my case, I'm playing Valorant, so ray tracing, whatever, I didn't have to force my way up to 6000 series. SSD is hiding in there somewhere. It is a Kioxia 512 gig. Motherboard, I went new because I've had bad luck with used motherboards, and you maybe save like 10 bucks. This was like $69. I was at like $498 was kind of where I was at. I was really penny pinching during the shopping section you guys saw, but for AMD versus Nvidia, we have our own challenges we've got to accomplish, and then of course, we're gonna compare them by doing 3D Mark, because 3D Mark will show us a center point based on what we spend on each PC. I'll be interested to see what the numbers are. 2 builds that are actually working. We can't say that all the time about this build challenge series. Let's get to benchmarking. Before we get to benchmarking PCs, we got to give a shout out to today's video sponsor, Highstar, and their awesome extended desk mats. And again, this is a sponsor spot, but we've been using their mouse pads for a long time.
I actually just bought a new one for my home setup, and I rebought one that I already had for a couple years. And we've had this one for quite some time. We've even started to put some wear and tear on it over the years. So we have 2 new mouse pads here that we get to check out, and I don't think we've seen either one yet.
No, we haven't. So you pick one, and I'll pick one. We don't know which one we're gonna get, so just pick a tube, any tube. Take this one.
Feels right.
All right, so I'm gonna unbox my mouse pad here for my benchmarking runs, see what we ended up with. Now, Highstar mouse pads, why they're so nice is one, look at this unboxing experience. It's absolutely amazing. And these mouse pads are hydrophobic, which means water just runs right off of them. So if you spill your drink while you're gaming, don't have to worry about it with your mouse pad.
Or sweat.
Or sweat.
They're just like me.
You could be sweating. I'm going to play Valorant. That means I'm definitely going to be sweating. Ooh, look at this design.
Like a pixel design?
This one looks pretty cool. So this is a little pixel art design. And once we unbox this, you will see the favorite thing we like about these mouse pads is how thick they are. 5 millimeters in thickness. Here's the design. Well, I like this one.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Like a Japanese street kind of deal.
Yeah, Japanese street design. I like the retro wave kind of colors. The light blue and the pink look really nice.
And then yeah, I mean this is like their XL size, but you can actually get it in like an XXXL where it's ginormous. But these are already really big in my opinion.
Yep, and with that 5 millimeter thickness, obviously you get a really nice feel while you're gaming. Very good durability with stitched edges. I mean, this one again has been here for a long time, and the stitched edges have held up very nicely. It does come with a 1-year warranty, so really awesome mouse pads. Again, use a link down below to buy this design or any other design. They have some really crazy ones. You'll see Jackson's when he gets the benchmarking. So stay tuned for when Jackson unboxes his, but I'm gonna use this mouse pad to play some Valorant. I feel like this fits the Valorant theme. All right, guys, we are in Valorant, and just to confirm my settings here, running 1080p, graphics quality set on high. We got high settings here, I'm getting shot. And the one caveat I had was I had upscaling, but there's no upscaling in this game. So I basically got nothing, but it doesn't seem to matter because all I needed was 85 FPS. Valorant, even from the rip, like 99% of you guys probably knew once I got Valorant that unless I just got a broken computer, it should be able to get 85 FPS on these settings. Obviously I could go 1440p if I wanted to as well, but the real challenge is me getting kills in this game.
Sweaty.
Beautiful. This mousepad feels great. Obviously, it's just a newer version of the one we've been benchmarking on for years. Like, it's very nice, very, very premium. Yeah,
So
no
it
aimbot.
felt good, didn't it?
Your
Felt
aimbot
nice.
was off, buddy. What in the hell? I need a sniper rifle now. You done did this to me.
Silly. Ooh.
Oh! My mouse wasn't fast enough. They sniped me.
Almost.
Ah!
Damn.
Wow, well, that was an experience, ladies and gentlemen, but I was able to achieve my goal with my PC. I'm excited to see what 3D Mark looks like. Jackson, let's take a look at your mouse pad.
Ooh, yes. All right, it's time for me to benchmark my PC, and I'm getting to open my mystery mouse pad. I'm excited because I literally do not know what we got. So let's see here. Let's see if this fits Jackson's aesthetic or not.
What's that in the bottom?
Oh, it comes with I forget these come with little cup holders.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, baby. I think I see a dragon.
They have a lot of dragon designs.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like an eagle or a falcon or oh, it's so vibrant. Yeah, their colors are insane. They definitely have some of like the best colors, especially on like a black mouse pad. It's pretty crazy to get these bright, vibrant colors, but my PC is hooked up and I get to play Marvel Rivals, which arguably I'm already winning because I don't have to play Valorant.
Gooner Rivals.
All right, guys, we were playing Marvel Rivals, and let me show you guys these settings that we're working with. So we got 1920 by 1080 borderless window. We are running Nvidia DLSS set to native on performance mode, which I never recommend, by the way, but that's just what we got to do for the challenge. And this is medium overall preset. We do have SSGI and screen space reflection. So once again, I felt like me getting the Nvidia card was kind of lucky for this game. So far, this is definitely, it's looking pretty close in a scary way. Ooh. So I may not be able to get this done. This is one of those things where, you know, oh, that's my teammate. This is one of those things where depending on the game and like what type of engine it's built on, especially if it has like forced ray tracing, which in our case, I believe this game you can turn off the ray tracing.
Yeah, maybe the first thing to lower to see what that looks like.
I definitely think, well, I think that and also just having upscaling would get us there. There's some games that just do not run well native, like you almost have to have upscaling. I know, we are getting like really close. I only needed 70. I'm almost there at times. Like right now, there's no action.
70.
If I just stay here, I think I'll hit it eventually.
You would.
It's slowly going up.
But then yeah, once you get into action, it goes down to right around 60.
Unfortunately, it does seem like it'd be like case by case with the maps, but it'll always like cover. Let's see what we can do to maybe get the good FPS. I just think we can leave everything the same and just
turn on, yeah.
Let's try balanced DLSS.
I bet that's gonna put you up to like 100. Yeah.
Wittily.
Wittily.
Yeah, it feels better.
Literally
it looks
just
the
running
exact
upscaling.
same.
Yep.
There's just no reason not to run upscaling. You can see them. There's still times where it struggles, but I mean, this did gain us like. When we're talking 60 FPS to 90, that's a really big difference. It still might not be what some of you guys want at home, but it's a huge difference percentage-wise.
And we made these challenges difficult on purpose in the sense that if someone was copying this PC, you know, it would be a challenge if it wasn't difficult. But the idea is if someone's copying this PC, they obviously would use the tech that's available to them. So if you built this PC, you have no one to again to. You would be using upscaling and you'd be getting good results with NVIDIA GPUs.
Lean sweep these fools. Oh God, he's hulking out.
He's hulking. He's absolutely hulking right now. Oh wow.
Oh, his Hulk is out. His Hulk is out.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. I'm hitting the mouse pad, or not the mouse pad, the
I
keyboard.
do love the switch up from my very horrid Valorant gameplay to a clean.
We needed this, honestly.
Clean.
We needed this, but okay. So safe to say, technically, just running medium settings without tweaking anything else in the game, I was slightly under the goal. But then, obviously, with some real setting tweaking, like you should run, the PC did great. Both the PCs are $500. We did it in 2026.
All right, let's run 3D Mark time spot to get the cent per point for each PC and wrap this video up.
So we just got done with our game challenge, and of course we ran 3D Mark Time Spy. Now, funny enough, Matt and I both ended up repasting our GPUs because his was making a rattling sound once his fan reached a certain RPM, and then mine was just getting horrible scores in 3D Mark Time Spy. And funny enough, I was hitting like 83 degrees on my card, and then once I repasted it, I was down in like the 60s, and my score was a lot better.
And of course, the benchmarks you saw in Valorant and Marvel Rivals also included those repastings done on both GPUs, so you are seeing the true performance of these systems when that was done. But let's go over those 3D Mark scores so you guys can see the difference.
So starting off with my 3D Time Spy score, originally before my repaste, I had an 8 cent per point score, which isn't amazing for how good I thought this build was because my total score was 6,300. Once Matt and I kind of looked at those numbers, we were like, man, this is not right. So I reran it after repasting, and I ended up getting a total score after the repaste of 7,811, with the GPU getting 7,553, the CPU getting 9,691, which ended up being a 6 cent per point for my PC.
Now going over to the AMD PC, we end up getting a total score of 9,233, a GPU score of 9,224, and a CPU score of 9,285, which results in a 5 cent per point score, meaning the AMD system was the best price performance option at the $500 mark. The 5700 XT is a pretty solid GPU. Again, we talked about this. When we're talking on the used market at this price range, that GPU is good price performance, but the one thing 3D Mark does not discuss is ray tracing, which is very popular in all modern titles. If you were going to get this GPU and you want to play games that have forced ray tracing, you just can't without any sort of mod done behind the scenes to make the games work. So yes, raw horsepower, this is a significantly better GPU, but it does have its limitations, and why normally, unless we're doing an ultra budget challenge, we normally stray away from 5000 series AMD. But either way, these are two PCs for $500 we think are really good in different ways. I want to hear from you guys. Which one do you like the best? And if you want to copy anything from these builds, use the links down below. There are fill links and they will help us out, and also get a high-star mouse pad while you're down there.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
Now, if you want to buy either of the PCs from today's videos, these actually do all go to PCBros.tech, and they get sold with the warranty and at a great price.
PCBros.tech, building budget PCs may not be for everyone. Maybe you just want to buy a PC ready to go. You can buy one at PC Bros today. Use code ToastyBros on checkout. You will save 3% on your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.